July 15, 1943, 1742 hours. The Sicilian sun is a hammer. Mottman Hans Müller, commander of what's left of Panzergrenadier, Regiment 104, stands with his hands on his head beside a smoking Panzer IV. His uniform is shredded, his face black with powder burns. He has just watched the 45th Infantry Division roll past him like an endless steel river. An American sergeant with a Thompson casually waves him toward a line of several hundred other gray-faced Germans. Müller expects the worst: bayonets, fists, a bullet behind the ear. That's what Goebbels told them would happen. Instead, a GI barely old enough to shave walks up and hands him an ice-cold bottle of Coca Cola pulled from a canvas water bag. Condensation runs down the glass like sweat. Müller stares at it as if it's a grenade with the pin pulled. The GI grins. "Go on, Fritz. It ain't poisoned." Müller takes a sip. For the first time in 3 years of war, he almost cries. Behind him, his men are being given Hershey bars and cigarettes. One young Feldwebel actually starts laughing, a broken, disbelieving sound. Another drops to his knees in the dirt and whispers, "Mein Gott. They treat dogs better than the Führer treated us." That same afternoon, 4,000 German and Italian prisoners are loaded onto Liberty ships bound for America. None of them can quite believe the war is already over for them, and that it ended with chocolate instead of a firing squad. September 3rd, 1943. 14:06 hours. The train hisses to a stop under a sky so wide and blue, it feels like the world has been turned inside out. Hauptmann Hans Müller steps down onto American soil for the first time, blinking against the glare. He is one of 3,800 Afrika Korps prisoners just off the boat from Sicily. They expect barbed wire, watchtowers, snarling dogs. They get something else entirely. A U.S. Army band is playing. Deep in the heart of Texas, a Red Cross girl in a crisp white dress hands every man a paper cup of chocolate ice cream. Real ice cream. Not the ersatz sawdust and sugar paste they had in Tobruk. A corporal beside Müller takes one bite and just stands there, tears rolling down his dust-caked cheeks. They are marched through the gate of Camp Hereford. The barracks are brand new, painted white, with screen doors and electric lights. Each bunk has a real mattress, 2 blankets, and a tiny locker. In the mess hall that evening, the menu is printed on a card: fried chicken, mashed potatoes with gravy corn on the cob, apple pie, a la mode Coca Cola, or coffee unlimited refills. The first man through the line. Oberleutnant Klaus von Richter, once a proud U-boat officer, stares at the tray in total silence. Then he looks up at the smiling American cook and asks in perfect English, "Tell me, Sergeant, how many years must I stay prisoner to eat like this?" The cook laughs and piles another piece of chicken on his plate. "As long as you behave, sir, you'll never go hungry again that night." In Barracks 7B, the prisoners sit on their bunks in stunned silence. One by one, they pull out photographs of wives and children back in a Germany that is already being reduced to rubble by Allied bombers. Müller finally speaks what every man is thinking. "They are feeding us better than our own people at home. We lost the war the moment we started it." Outside. The Texas wind carries the faint sound of Glenn Miller from the guard's radio. Inside, hardened veterans of El Alamein and Stalingrad fall asleep under clean sheets for the first time in years. Some of them crying quietly in the dark. Action 3. The Day the Lies Died, Spring 1944. A baseball game in Oklahoma, April 22, 1944. 13:30 hours. Oklahoma. The thermometer reads 88 degrees Fahrenheit under a sky the color of a Luftwaffe summer uniform. 3,200 German prisoners, almost all captured in North Africa, are packed onto wooden bleachers around a freshly chalked baseball diamond. They have been told today is German-American Friendship Day. They think it is another propaganda trick.
Ow.
Then the gates open. A convoy of civilian cars rolls in. Local farmers, shopkeepers, church ladies, even the mayor of Tonkoa himself. They unload picnic baskets, crates of Coca Cola on ice, and homemade apple pies still warm from the oven. A high school band strikes up Lily Marlene, first in German, then in English. The prisoners sit frozen, mouths open. An American colonel steps to the microphone and announces in perfect German, "Today there are no guards, no fences, no ranks. Just baseball and food. Play ball." The first game is Americans versus Germans. The German team is led by Lieutenant Franz Meyer, former minor league pitcher from Munich. He steps to the mound in a borrowed uniform that actually fits. The first pitch he throws is a perfect curveball. The crowd, half German, half American, erupts in cheers. Between innings, prisoners are invited to the picnic tables. A farmer's wife from Enid presses a slice of blackberry pie into the hands of a bewildered Oberfeldwebel who fought at Tobruk. She smiles and says, "My boy is flying missions over Germany right now. Eat up, honey, you look half-starved." That evening, back in the barracks, the prisoners gather in silence. One of them, a former SS man who still has his death's head badge hidden in his boot, pulls out a crumpled copy of Der Stürmer he smuggled from Africa. He stares at the screaming headlines about Jewish Bolshevik monsters and American gangsters. Then, slowly, deliberately, he tears it into pieces and drops them in the trash. Another prisoner, a quiet theology student from Heidelberg, stands up and speaks for the first time since capture. Everything they told us was a lie. Everything. These people are not our enemies. They never were. That night, for the first time in any American POW camp, German prisoners voluntarily raise their hands and ask to speak to the camp commander. They have a request. They want to send letters home, real letters, telling their families the truth about America. The commander smiles, hands them paper and pens, and says, "Write whatever you want, boys." The mail goes out tomorrow. Word of the baseball game spreads like wildfire through every POW camp, from Texas to Massachusetts. Within weeks, thousands of German prisoners are lining up to sign declarations renouncing Nazism. Some even asked to stay in America after the war. The propaganda that kept an entire nation in chains begins to die, one ice-cold Coke and one slice of apple pie at a time. Camp Hereford, Texas. The mess hall has been transformed. Long tables covered in red and green paper, real Christmas trees shipped in from Colorado, and a record player spinning Bing Crosby's White Christmas. Every German prisoner, over 4,000 men, has received a care package from the people of Bryan and Hearn: wool socks, cigarettes, candy, and a handwritten card from an American family. At the head table sits Hauptmann Hans Muller, the same officer who surrendered in Sicily 18 months earlier. His once sharp cheekbones are now filled out, his eyes no longer hollow. In front of him is a single sheet of Red Cross stationery and a fountain pen. He writes slowly in careful German script, "My dearest Elizabeth and the children. We have just eaten roast turkey with stuffing, real butter, and as much ice cream as a man could want." The Americans sang, "Still not with us, yes," in German, and then gave every one of us a gift. Mine was a pocket knife engraved with the words, "Merry Christmas," from the people of Texas. Lieschen, must tell you the truth now, because I can no longer live with the lie. Everything the party told us about America was false. These people are not gangsters or Jews or subhumans. They are kinder than any German I have ever met, even to their enemies. They feed us better than our own generals fed us. They've given us back our dignity when our own country stripped it away. Tell the children their father is alive and well, and that the war is already over for me. I will come home when it ends, but I will never again raise my hand for the man who brought this shame upon us. Pray for peace, my love. And when you drink your thin acorn coffee tomorrow morning, think of me drinking real coffee with cream and 2 spoons of real sugar. Your Hansi folds the letter, seals it, and hands it to the American censor, who simply nods and stamps it, approved without reading a word. Across every POW camp in the United States that Christmas Eve, thousands of similar letters are written. Some are smuggled past the censors. Some are read aloud by the prisoners themselves to their comrades. By spring 1945, many of those letters will reach bombed-out homes in Germany. Wives will read them by candlelight and quietly begin hiding the portrait of the Führer in the attic. In May 1945, when the Reich finally collapses, American investigators will discover something astonishing. Tens of thousands of Wehrmacht soldiers surrendered without firing a shot in the final weeks. Many of them clutching dog-eared letters from fathers, brothers, and husbands who had tasted Coca Cola and ice cream in Texas, Oklahoma, and Virginia. The war was won with bullets and bombs, yes. But for a surprising number of German soldiers, it was lost the moment an American private handed them a cold bottle and a smile. "Welcome to America, Fritz. Have some ice cream."